Today on What It's Like, 1973 Lincoln Continental Town Coupe, Lincoln's all-new two-door car offering. But before getting into all of it, I'm Jay. Welcome to What It's Like. Picture this, you go to a car show and you stumble on a car that you've never seen before. So when you get home, you type in vigorously into the search box on YouTube to get more information on the groovy car that you just witnessed. Every title you click on, it's some bloke walking around the car with music. Doesn't say anything about the car. This channel, we cover the classics, vintage, some exotics, lots of orphan cars, and cars that tend to get lost at the bottom of the pile. Period correct ads, button switches and knobs, specs, and most importantly, we show what these cars are like. If that sounds like a channel that you will totally dig, subscribe and hit the bell icon next to it to never miss a video. This 1973 Lincoln Continental Town Coupe is for sale at Classic Auto Mall, which is the largest automotive consignment dealership in the northeastern region of the USA, with over 850 cars for sale when recording this episode. Admission is totally free and anybody can go there. For more information, pricing, and pictures pertaining to this very car, click the link below after the show. Let's talk 1973 Lincoln. Lincoln was offered in 5 flavors in 1973. 4-door Continental, 2-door Continental Coupe, 4-door Continental Town Car, 2-door Continental Town Coupe, and then at the top was sitting the Continental Mark IV. It's worth mentioning that Lincoln did not build a convertible nor a wagon in 1973, but Andy Houghton did. He built a few at his Dearborn Steel Tubing Company. Another company out of Dallas, Texas, Eagle Coach Company, would build limousines titled as Phaetons. One more side note, Lincoln just started offering the town car back in 1972, and it became a staple for Lincoln because Lincoln needed a more exclusive model to compete with Cadillac, because before that, they just had the standard Continental sedan and the standard Continental Coupe. Lincoln would offer the Town Coupe from 1973 to 1980, and it was replaced with a very short-lived 2-door town car. Lincoln Continental was offered in 10 generations. 1973 falls in the 5th generation, which had a production run from 1970 to 1979. The 5th generation returned to the body-on-frame construction, the first time for Lincoln since 1957. It's important to note Continental wasn't given its own chassis, but had a longer wheelbase version of the Marquis chassis. 1973 saw the release of the new federal crash regulations, 5 mile per hour front bumpers, while the rear bumpers were rated at 2.5 mile per hour rating. 1974 would see the release of the 5 mile per hour bumpers in the rear. Let's talk specs. 229.9 inches long, 79.6 inches wide, 54.5 inches tall. It rides a wheelbase of 127 inches. It weighs 5,192 pounds. Price $7,230, which is equivalent to you spending $48,716.20 in the year 2023. Total 1973 Lincoln production was 128,073 units, of which total Lincoln Continental, that's the town car and the town coupe, was 58,636 units. Of that number, 45,288 were town car, 13,348 were the town coupe. Mark IV was 69,437 units. Moving on to engine. Only one engine on offer, 460 cubic inch displacement, V8, 7.5 liters. It's good for 212 horsepower at 4,400 RPM, 342 pound-feet of torque at 2,600 RPM, with a compression of 8.5 to 1. When mated to the only transmission on offer, C6 automatic 3-speed, 0 to 60 could be had in 10.9 seconds. Theoretical top speed, 117 miles per hour. Average fuel economy, 10 miles to the gallon. Moving on to options. Not going to list every single option, but feel free to pause the video if you want to read through the list of options. Feel free to do that. Here are some major ones. Sure track computerized braking, rear defroster, automatic headlight dimmer, AM/FM radio, 6-way power seat for both driver and passenger, power vent windows, tilt wheel, leather seats, power sunroof.
Cars in America are the 1973 Continentals. We previewed them for these men and women who last May judged a ride test between the 72 Continental and the other 72 luxury car. These judges all own the other luxury car. Yet 60 out of 100 of them picked the Continental over their own make of car. Let us show you our 73s as they saw them. Our Lincoln Continental four-door sedan and coupe, designed for an even more comfortable ride than our 72. Our 73 Lincoln Continental town cars, the sedan, the new town coupe. The 1973 Continental Mark IV, newly minted silver. Introducing the 1973 Continentals. It is a very good year.
Let's talk styling. Look at how far this protrudes. Here's my hand for reference. Pop-up headlights. It says Continental nice and proud on the hood. Look at how this center line just comes to a peak there. There's actually 3 lines on the hood. This is more of a like a ledge, and this is the center line. And just look at from the top down all of the different lines going on. Look at this valley. Super interesting design. Turn signals are mounted inside the bumpers. This one does have cornering lights. When you turn your turn signal on, the light turns on so that you can see around the corner. Right here there isn't a line, but it's angled in ever so slightly. Phantom line here, and then it just slowly starts protruding outward, and it goes the whole way back. Look at how these wheel wells are flared. I love this piece here. This car has drip rails. They're just a little bit on the slender side. Look at the upper windows. Look at how far this comes down. Generally, they usually end right about here, but this one goes all the way down to here. This one has tiny fins coming out the back. This one also has a center line on the trunk deck lid. Gas filler cap is on the driver's side. Fender skirts. See how slab this is here, and then it juts back inside just underneath the car. Take a look at how these door handles are designed. The door has a lot of heft to it. Here is how big, how massive that door is. It's absolutely huge. Fake wood up on top. This could either be, this is probably leather. Carpet down here. Armrest. Door handle to pull the door shut. This is the door handle to open the door. Look at all of the button switches on the door panel. This is for the mirror. This is for the driver's side seat to tilt, front tilt, rear tilt. This is to move the seat front, back. These are for all of the windows. Window locks, door locks. These little quarter windows go down as well. Coming down inside the pedal box, high beam switch on the floor, hood release, brake release, brake pedal, gas pedal. And just take a look at this interior. That is what the door sounds like shutting. It sounds like you're closing a bank vault. Here is over the hood impression. Here's what first person over the hood looks like. Here is the underneath the steering wheel situation. There is tons of room underneath the steering wheel, and if there wasn't, you'd have to live with it. I mean, you could put the seat down. On to the button switches and knobs. Those 4 lights are idiot lights for the doors, brakes, headlights, low fuel, left turn signal indicator, high beam indicator, odometer, tripometer, speedometer, right turn signal indicator, drive modes read, park, reverse, neutral drive second and first, amp meter, gasoline gauge, headlights, wipers. With the windshield washer feature, you just push the center of the wiper button. Cruise control settings are on the steering wheel. On and off is located on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel is the set the speed and coast. Coolant temperature, oil pressure, clock, heat and ventilation controls. 2 levers. The one on top controls the location of the air. High, low, vent, defog, defrost. The second controls the temperature, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85. Directly under the dash pad, there are 3 more lights for the seat belts, antenna, rear defrost, AM, FM radio, of sun visors. And that's my hand for reference. These are good sized sun visors. Rear view mirror, as well as it has the daytime nighttime feature. Another sun visor over here with courtesy mirror and light. Very cool. On to the glove box test. Here's our test subject. Here's my hand for reference. Here's our glove box in question. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. And it shuts. This one has a center armrest in the front. You could use it as an armrest, or you could use it as a seat. This is the ashtray. This is probably the biggest ashtray that I've ever witnessed in my whole entire life. Like, just wow. This is what I look like sitting behind the wheel of the 73 Continental. I got tons of headspace. This car is absolutely huge. It's one of the biggest Lincolns I think I've ever been in, ever. It's huge, but it feels so nice in here. It really does. Getting in the rear seat. So this one has a seat back lock, which you turn this, and then that makes the seat go forward. Notice it has carpet on the back of the seat, as well as a handle to pull the seat back. Here is what the front looks like from the back. Let's take a gander at the greenhouse, or the pillar to glass ratio. Look at those opera windows, as well as lights there. That is what visibility looks like out the backlight. Let's take a gander at this seat profile. This seat is very comfortable back here. I will say that it does dip down ever so slightly back there, but notice it's a bit bulged in the center and then dips back down. Seat is slightly reclined. Armrest, ashtray, as well as a control for the rear reading light and window switch. Coat hookup on top. Everything that is found over there is found over here as well. Coat hookup here. Reading light. Notice the reading light has the Lincoln logo inside of it. Ashtray. Cigarette lighter is in the ashtray up there. This is for the window. This is for the light. This looks like fake wood. This is what I look like sitting in the back seat. I got tons of headroom. It does not feel that claustrophobic back here. This is what the knee situation looks like. It's a bit negative, or I should say there's enough room to put your finger in between my knee and the back of the chair. I'm 6'2". I fit back here pretty comfortably. There is a center armrest in the back here as an added creature comfort. Coming to the under the hood section, we already popped the hood from inside. So just come up to here, push it down just a wee bit. Straight up. This is the lever, and you just move it over. This one's got the big 460 Venturi. Chef Boyardee can here, painted black. Dual master cylinder with power brakes attached to it. It's got power steering as well. Oh man, this has got dual Chef Boyardee cans. There's one over here too. That's a joke. Don't write me something in the comment section saying, "Oh, that's probably not a Chef Boyardee can. It might be Campbell's chicken soup." Soup can. Battery. On the positive side, it's a big car. You can fit yourself and 5 other friends comfortably. Nice, comfortable seats. This car has actual gauges, tons of options like vent windows, which are power operated. And these cars are pretty rare, so you could have something that nobody else has. On the cons, it's a big car and it's a bit thirsty. All right, now it's time for Would You Rather. 2 scenarios. Would you rather have a 1973 Continental Town Coupe or a 1973 Lincoln Continental Mark IV? Moving on to the second scenario. Would you rather have a Lincoln Continental Town Coupe or Coupe or Imperial LeBaron or Cadillac DeVille? In the comment section below, I just really love to see what you guys like. Now, moving on to Name That Tune. First person to give me both the correct name of the band as well as song title. First person to do both correctly will have their comment pinned to the top of the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch with me, shoot me a comment in the comment section below or check out our Facebook group that correlates with this YouTube channel. Don't have Facebook? No worries. I will link my email in the description. So if I catch you on there or you shoot me an email, just know I appreciate all of the support. And until next time, here's some scenes for our next episode. 1957 Oldsmobile Super 88 hardtop. That's what's coming up next on What It's Like. Tune in tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time to catch that episode. And until then, toodaloo! Real quick, random story. My daughter comes downstairs and she's like, "Hey, Dad, have you seen my $12 that Papa gave to me?" And the card that she got. And I looked at her and I was like, $12 is a very specific number, Chloe. Are you sure it's not $10 or $20? And then the look that she gave me and she's like, "Oh, yeah, it's $20. Have you seen it?" And I was like, "What are you going to spend the $20 on? We're not going anywhere." And it was just so funny because $12, who would send $12? I'm going to send $12 one day.